Hello, friends. Welcome to Storycraft. On this channel, you will enjoy world top stories. Let's view the video. The man who saw the world end every night in his dreams. The first dream, fire in the sky. The dream began like a memory he never lived. A vast city skyline shimmered beneath a blood-red sky. Skyscrapers loomed like grave markers, their glass, skin reflecting fire instead of sunlight. People ran, screamed, vanished into smoke. It always started here, always with the fire. Daniel stood still amid chaos. His body wouldn't move, paralyzed by the surreal calm that wrapped around him like a chain. A siren echoed in the distance, warbling like a dying creature. Then came the shadow. From the sky descended something not quite a craft, not quite a being, colossal, metallic, and pulsating with blue light. It hovered over the city, silent at first. Then the humming began. Deep, low, like the earth mourning. People fell to their knees, clutching their ears. Windows cracked, birds dropped from the sky like stones. Daniel turned toward the river. Water bubbled and steamed as if rejecting reality. A pulse of white light exploded from the sky, and the buildings closest to it crumbled in an instant, reduced to ash and static. Then the fire rained down, blinding, endless, merciless. A woman tried to scream, but no sound came out. Her skin turned to glass and shattered before his eyes. Daniel looked at his own hands, flickering, phasing in and out like broken television signal. Time bent, warped, then stopped entirely. For a moment he hovered in silence above the destruction, watching the world collapse. And then he woke up. Soaked in sweat, Daniel stared at the ceiling fan spinning slowly above his bed. It was the fourth night in a row. Same dream, same ending, same fire in the sky. He checked the clock. 3:33 a.m. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "You saw it again, didn't you?" He blinked. No contact name. No thread history. Another message followed. "You're not the only one." He sat up, heart pounding. The dream had followed him out of sleep, refusing to be forgotten. And now, someone else knew. Whispers of tomorrow's ashes, morning sunlight filtered through half-closed blinds, but it couldn't chase away the chill left behind by the dream. Daniel stared at his phone screen, rereading the anonymous messages over and over. "You're not the only one." The words clung to his mind like smoke. Was someone else dreaming the same nightmare? How could they know? His thoughts were interrupted by a news headline flashing across the TV in the living room. Unexplained sky phenomenon recorded over multiple cities. The image on the screen made his blood run cold. Swirling clouds above a city, eerily similar to the ones from his dream. Fire hadn't fallen, but the sky looked bruised, heavy with something unnatural. He needed answers. Daniel scrolled through forums, conspiracy boards, anything remotely related to strange dreams or apocalyptic visions. Hidden deep in one thread, a username caught his eye, Oracle33, with a message posted just hours earlier. "If you're dreaming of the end, meet me tonight. 9 p.m., the old clock tower. No details, no explanations, just an address." The same clock tower that appeared in his dream every night, looming in the distance while the world burned. By nightfall, the sky was cloudless, but Daniel's nerves churned like a storm. He arrived at the tower just before 9, its silhouette cutting through the dark sky like a jagged scar. A figure stood near the base, hood pulled low, hands tucked into their coat pockets. "You came," the stranger said without turning. The voice was calm, almost familiar. "Who are you?" Daniel asked. "Someone who's seen what you've seen." The figure finally turned, revealing a young woman with tired eyes. "I'm Lila. And if we don't figure this out soon, those dreams won't just be dreams." Daniel felt the weight of her words sink in. "How do you know about my dreams?" "I don't just know yours. There are others." She pulled out a worn notebook, its pages filled with drawings of burning cities, collapsing skies, and the same ominous shape that hovered above everything, the shadow from his nightmares. "It started months ago," Lila continued. "First just me. Then more people found me online. We all share the same visions, the same destruction. And lately, reality's starting to catch up." She pointed to the distant skyline where the city lights flickered under an unsettling crimson hue. "It's already happening." Daniel swallowed hard. "What is it?" "We don't know," she admitted. "But the dreams are a warning, and if we can piece them together, maybe we can stop it." A sudden gust of wind rattled the tower's rusted metal. Somewhere in the distance, a faint hum vibrated through the air, low and unsettling, just like in his dreams. "How many of us are there?" Daniel asked, eyes scanning the dark streets. "Enough to matter," Lila replied, "but maybe not enough to change." "What's coming?" She handed him a slip of paper with an address. "Meet us tomorrow. We'll share what we know. But be careful. Whatever's causing these dreams isn't just in our heads anymore." As Daniel left the tower, the night felt heavier than before, thick with the whispers of tomorrow's ashes. And for the first time, he wondered if the world he saw burning in his sleep was closer than anyone realized. The Oracle of Midnight, the meeting place, was hidden beneath an old church, abandoned, forgotten by the city, but alive with something ancient. Daniel descended the stone steps cautiously, guided by the soft glow of flickering lanterns and the hushed voices echoing in the dark. A room unfolded beneath him, makeshift and strange. Maps covered the walls, red strings connecting cities across continents. Screens played looped videos of unexplained events, firestorms, unmarked aircrafts, static-filled broadcasts. A dozen people stood around, all with that same hollow-eyed look, the look of people who had seen the end of the world too many times. Lila greeted him with a nod. "Welcome to the circle." They gathered in silence as an older man emerged from the shadows. He walked with a slight limp, his cane tapping rhythmically on the floor. His face was weathered, but his eyes burned with clarity. "We call him the Oracle," Lila whispered. "He was the first." The man spoke. "I've dreamed the end for 17 years, before cities fell in smoke, before fire kissed the clouds. I saw it. I tried to ignore it, deny it. But the dreams never stopped." He paused and turned his gaze on Daniel. "And now, you dream too." Daniel nodded slowly. "Every night, always the same. The fire, the sky, the shadow." The Oracle closed his eyes. "It's not a shadow. It's a warning, a memory, or maybe a glimpse. But of what? Past, future, or some twisted loop. We do not know. He motioned toward a large canvas hung on the wall. It showed the strange shape from the dreams, the vast, pulsating entity in the sky. But now it was detailed, mechanical tendrils, glowing veins of energy, and something that looked eerily like a face. This, the oracle said, has appeared in every vision from every dreamer here, across continents, different lives, same image. But what is it? Daniel asked, his voice shaking. We think it's watching, Lila answered. Not attacking, not yet, just watching. Like it's waiting for something. Another member of the circle, a woman named Mara, stepped forward. The dreams started syncing last week. Same time. Same events. Different dreamers. Like we're all part of the same transmission. Daniel's breath caught in his throat. Are we receivers? The oracle nodded solemnly. Or vessels. We're being shown something, either to stop it or to survive it. A silence fell. The weight of prophecy settled like dust on every shoulder. Then something strange happened. The lights flickered. The air shifted. The oracle stumbled, grabbing his head in pain. His voice turned guttural. It's here. It sees you, Daniel. Everyone froze. The oracle collapsed, convulsing briefly before going still. When his eyes opened, they glowed white, and then he spoke, but not in his own voice. Your dreams are not dreams. They are rehearsals, and you, Daniel, will be the catalyst. Gasps filled the room. A lantern shattered to the floor. The oracle slumped forward, unconscious. Daniel stood frozen. Around him the circle backed away, as if he were radioactive. What the hell does that mean? He whispered. Lila's voice was barely audible. It means you're not just seeing the end, Daniel. You might be causing it. When reality starts to break. The next morning, the city felt wrong. Daniel walked the streets in a daze. Every color a little too vivid, every sound a little too sharp. Pedestrians moved like they were caught in slow motion. Birds flew in erratic, geometric patterns across a sky that flickered, just once, with a shade of violet that shouldn't exist. He ducked into a quiet alley and pressed his back against the cold brick wall. His hands trembled. His reflection in a store window blinked before he did. Something was unraveling. Later that day, at a hidden apartment belonging to another circle member named Jonas, the group tried to make sense of the oracle's message. The oracle spoke with something else's voice, Jonas said, and it said you're the catalyst. That makes you a target, or a trigger. Daniel sat silently, staring at a new map pinned on the wall. Red dots were spreading fast, marking people who had started to share the dream. Entire countries were beginning to report mass hallucinations, collective visions. The fire in the sky wasn't just prophecy, it was becoming contagious. I haven't done anything, Daniel finally said. Why me? Maybe you're more connected to it, Lila said. Or maybe it needs you to activate, to open something. Jonas turned on an old television, its screen already full of static. Watch this. It aired for just 12 seconds on a European news channel before the broadcast cut out. The screen cleared for a moment. A face appeared, human-like but stretched, eyes too large, mouth moving in slow mechanical sync. It said a single sentence, in perfect English. The boundary is thinning. Reality will fold. Then it vanished. Daniel's breath caught. He had seen that exact face in his dreams, staring at him as the sky split apart. Suddenly, the lights in the apartment flickered, then shut off. The room fell into darkness. Something groaned behind the walls, deep, metallic, almost like a ship dragging against stone. They rushed to the window. Outside, the world shimmered like it was submerged underwater. A black ripple passed across the skyline, swallowing colors, distorting buildings. For a second, the city appeared broken, split into two realities, struggling to overlap. "It's happening faster now," Lila said, voice tight with fear. "We're slipping between layers." "What layers?" Daniel asked. "Different versions of now," she replied. "Like dreams bleeding into waking life. Like something's pulling two timelines together and smashing them into each other." Daniel touched the glass. It felt warm, almost alive. For the briefest moment, he saw the shadow, the same one from his dreams, towering over the city in this overlapping version of reality. But no one else seemed to notice. That night, he returned home. He tried not to sleep, but his body gave in. In the dream, everything was clearer now. He stood at the epicenter of the city, where buildings twisted like melted steel and the sky cracked like shattered glass. The shape in the sky began to descend, and it spoke. "You were chosen not to prevent the end, but to remember it. You are the memory of a world already lost." Daniel screamed himself awake. But the nightmare didn't stop. The room around him was no longer his apartment. It was the burned husk of it, just as it had appeared in his dreams. He wasn't waking up anymore. The last dream and the final hour. The air was thick with ash. Daniel stood at the edge of the ruined city, his breath shallow, the sky above, torn open like a wound. The streets were empty. Time had stopped. Silence swallowed everything, except for the humming. The great shadow hovered above, descending slowly, its form more clear than ever. Tendrils of light twisted from it, searching, scanning. It didn't come with fury, it came with purpose. And it had found him. He walked forward, unafraid now. The fear had burned away with the last of the waking world. Around him, echoes of those he loved flickered like fading projections, faces trapped in loops, memories stuttering out. Lila appeared. Beside him, her voice faint. "This is the moment." "What happens now?" Daniel asked. "You remember," she said, "and they forget." The entity opened, not like a door, but like a memory unfolding. Inside it was a storm of all that ever was, and all that ever could be. Cities, stars, oceans, wars, endings, beginnings, collapsing into one final moment. And in that moment, Daniel saw. The dreams were echoes. He had lived this before, 1,000 times. The world ended, reset, ended again. Each time, someone remembered, and each time they tried to stop it. But this time, the dream chose him not to stop it, but to carry it forward. He stepped into the light. The world collapsed around him. And then, peace. Somewhere far away, a child opened their eyes, gasping from a nightmare they didn't understand. They would never know why the sky made them afraid, why fire haunted their sleep. But Daniel knew, because the world had ended, and he remembered. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel Storycraft for more interesting videos.